When young researchers are about to apply for their first projects, either if it's for traveling to a conference or for a scholarship or actually a research proposal, for example, a Marie Curie individual fellowship, the postdoctoral fellowship, then usually, very naturally, the young researchers start with their topic, describing what they are doing and what they want to do. And this is usually very much on the research level and technology level. And then usually the young people want to optimize the version before they send it out. And this is a big opportunity which is lost, because it will never be perfect whatever we write. And what we need to include is not only the research and technology descriptions, it's also some other things related to impact. What is the overall situation of the research field, and how will this come to usefulness? And that is related to the impact. And then you need to do the communication, dissemination towards exploitation and impact. And it's not sufficient to write that we will write some articles for popular science. You need to show a plan, a decent plan, which actually shows relevance. And all those things are very tricky. And even if I have been applying for many projects, everything takes time. And this time aspect is important. And what can be done is that there's an early version. We think about what is the idea, and then we meet, because the researcher is not alone. We should always work together, either with supervisor or a mentor like me, and other people who are supporting in various ways. You have the supporting organizations at universities and so on. So there are people helping with grants, and they are supposed to support, but it's difficult to support one-to-one. So then the way to do this is to do it systematically. You have a version, your idea, you think about what you want to do, and then you discuss this. You first meet and discuss, and then you iterate, because that will make you realize what you want to do, and you get other aspects from the discussion. So instead of writing, and then meeting to discuss, and then starting to change big parts, you do this earlier, just to get the idea right, before the text is there to be right. And even when the text is there and you think it's right, it will be modified, because we write usually a little too complex. It's not clear for the readers who are not in the field. And then we need to modify again. So at the end, it will be a lot of iterations between the people involved. And the best way to do this nowadays is to have the application put the parts, ideas in the template, if there's a template for the call, like Marie Curie has templates. Then you put it there and start to write, and you have a share point which everybody can address. So I can contribute, the applicant can contribute, the support people, they can contribute and make changes. And then the applicant, the one who is coordinating the things, should go there, accept or not accept, and be active to do this. Because it's very confusing when you have a lot of track changes and comments and so on. Make decisions. And of course, the earlier you do this, the better, because then you always have a clear version, the latest version. And this iteration is really useful for applications. So start early as possible, to discuss the things and involve people. There's no meaning to think that someone will steal your idea, because there are other researchers with these ideas, but the one who writes the best proposal will have it accepted. And the best proposal comes from collaboration. Include other people. And you can also include advisors in your project proposal. So even they are not funded, they are advisors. And then you ask the advisors to comment on the version, and then they will also contribute at least little or more. and then you iterate this in different ways. And in such way, you mature the idea, the description of impact, how it will come to usefulness and so on, and then it's a concise version, which is really good, because still it will be challenging to have this accepted, because there are other really good versions. And at the end, my belief, or I'm convinced about it, that when you have good applications and reviewers should decide between them, then the one which explains a little bit or a little bit more how the research will come to usefulness. How does it fit into the context of like Europe? If you address this, that this technology aligns with the smart specialization strategy and those things, then it shows that you're aware about the other things. You don't need to do them, you don't need to be expert in them, but you are aware. So when reviewers compare different applications which are really good, and then they see that, oh, this one, it has knowledge about the smart specialization, and these activities, they go to next step, Green Deal, and so on, and then they contribute to the overall long goals, but they have some realistic first steps from their project, and they are thinking about how to take the research to usefulness. Not only publishing, presenting at conferences, take it to usefulness. You don't need to do this, but show that you have an idea how it could happen. And then this proposal will be a little bit extra, and a reviewer will choose this proposal. But you need to start early with writing and involve people.